In the mission Repossession, Fraki Setichas Togekiti, Yiminshash, Franklin and Lamar have to go to a neighborhood in Vespucci Beach to repossess a bike and return it to Simeon, but something that never happens in the game, this bike actually ends up with Franklin. Now, have you ever thought about what happens if instead of following the mission script, you take this bike and go straight to Simeon's dealership or even call him? That's right, my friends. In today's video, we're going to the part 3 of all the possibilities of GTA 5 missions. I've already posted 2 videos here on the channel, one showing the prologue and the other showing the mission Franklin and Lamar, and today is going to be the 3rd video. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start by talking about something really cool that I had already seen in GTA San Andreas, and I hadn't seen in GTA 5 until this mission, and I'm talking about how the haircut influences the dialogues in the game. There's a mission in GTA San Andreas where we have to cut our hair. It's one of the first missions, I don't remember if it's the 2nd or the 3rd mission, where CJ goes with Ryder to Old Reese to cut his hair, and if you use a cheap haircut, Ryder will make a joke about you, and if you use a top haircut, Ryder will make another comment saying that the hairdresser, Old Reese, still does a great job as a hairdresser. So at the beginning of the game, in the mission Franklin and Lamar, which was the one from the last video, Lamar ends up making fun of Franklin's haircut at the end of the mission. He says that Franklin has a hick haircut and that's why Tanisha is with another guy and all that. And even if you change the haircut in the Franklin and Lamar mission, you don't see any difference.
Oh, nigga, don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe if you got rid of that old yee-yee ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick.
However, here in the Repossession mission, right at the beginning, after the first cutscene, if you are using a different haircut, a cooler haircut will trigger a different dialogue than if you are with the standard haircut that Franklin starts the game with. I think this happens because at the end of the Franklin and Lamar mission, Lamar talks about Franklin's hair, and then in the next mission, which is the Repossession mission, you can have different dialogues according to the haircut you have. This one here is the dialogue you have if you have the standard haircut.
And you still rolling with that old raggedy ass hair? That country bumpkin shit is enough to get us shot right there.
I never took you to be old hairstylist type bitch, but now it's all starting to make sense.
And this other dialogue here is in case you have a different haircut.
At least you had that old raggedy ass Harry style. I was about to have to drop your ass.
Man, fuck you, nigga. I wish I hadn't cut it.
After this mini dialogue that happens inside the dealership, regardless of anything you do inside the dealership, the mission will fail, like in terms of destruction. If you kick the cars, the doors, everything you try to destroy inside the dealership will break for good. If you use the mod in the clip, for example, to enter the office where Simeon is, you can even hit him, but the mission also fails, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, I thought only a different dialogue would happen. When you leave the dealership, you have to grab a car and go to the location where the bike is supposed to be. Here I tested some possibilities, but I kind of expected something to go wrong. For example, if you abandon Lamar, if you just leave him there and go, the mission will fail. If you run him over or try to shoot him or hit him, it doesn't work. But if you run him over or run him over a lot, he'll end up dying. But like, it has to be a lot. The guy seems almost immortal in this mission. Actually, I think Rockstar gave him an upgrade, like some sort of armor in this mission. Because there's a shootout, he'll take some shots so he doesn't die too easily. And the last possibility within this mission before arriving at that location is for you to take a walk to the place. And actually, you can walk there, Lamar will follow you the whole way, he'll throw some dialogues out there kind of mocking you and all, but the mission goes on as normal, it doesn't fail. So even though the game indicates that you should get the car because the distance is too long, if you walk there or even swim through a part that is water to cut the path, the mission won't fail and will proceed normally.
But now it's all starting to make sense.
Man, this ain't employee of the month behavior. Get your ass back in here. How about you drive? Hey, come on, you asshole!
When we get to the mission location, the game tells you to go through this gate here. However, you can go around the other side to try to enter through the part where the garage would supposedly be. When you get to the wall, there are some shards of glass, on the wall, to prevent you from climbing up there. However, there is a small space where you can actually climb up. So if you go to this part here with Franklin and jump to get here, like in front of the garage, instead of triggering the cutscene as it should have because you entered discreetly, you went around, etc., instead of that happening, what happens here is that a bunch of Vagos gang NPCs spawn and a shootout starts and then the mission fails because the neighborhood was alerted. It doesn't make much sense because you're already in front of the garage where the bike would be and you arrived quietly and yet the mission fails because basically you didn't follow the game's script. The same thing happens if you try to enter like through the sides, There are exits, entrances here on the side and so on, besides this first gate that's here in front, and if you also go that way, the mission will also fail because it will say that the neighbors were alerted.
What's wrong with you, homie? Come on, man. Move. Guess we gotta explain things to this fool. These fucking clowns, man.
And then what's left is for you to enter from the front. Like, I don't know, you would have to do it in the normal way. You can enter from the front in other ways, okay? If you, like, instead of trying to jump over the gate, try to enter with the car. The mission will also fail because it will say that the guys were alerted. And besides, there will be some NPCs already waiting for you on the side, which doesn't make much sense because when you jump over the gate, these NPCs are not there. So I don't know, it gets a bit confusing, but anyway. And if you give up and really follow the mission script, here you will have to stop, jump the gate, and enter here, walking along with Lamar. And Lamar walks very slowly. Then this old drunk guy will appear here, talking about Lord Zaffo and etc. You can either hit him or not, and then you will have two different dialogues from Lamar when you hit or not hit this guy. If you kill him, it's the same.
Hey, what's up, homie? You all right?
No, wait! Away from me! Zappo agents!
Yeah, you thought I was gonna hit your bitch ass, huh? Drunk ass nigga. Hey, what's up, homie? You all right?
No, wait! Away from me! Zappo agents!
Cold, homie.
And then after this old man, there will be a moment when two NPCs will pass by in a car and Lamar will kind of have a confrontation with them, just staring at them. In general, nothing really happens. However, if you stop in front of this car, their NPCs will start honking, and if you stay there, the mission will fail. If you shoot at any of these NPCs, the mission will also fail again, but if you just pass by with a weapon in hand, it won't change anything. From what I understood, based on the leaks from GTA 6, just carrying a weapon in GTA 6 will make NPCs scared. This is a mechanic that is not in GTA 5 and will actually never be, because most likely there won't be any updates of this kind. Continuing the mission script here, we arrive at the front and we have 3 garages. You can go straight to the garage on the right, which is where the bike should supposedly be and where the cutscene will happen. But since there are 3 garages, you can open all 3. In the first one on the left, you open it and there will be a bulletproof vest. In the second garage, there will only be like junk, old furniture, like a sofa, things like that. And then in the third one is where the normal cutscene will happen, starting the shootout and everything. When the shootout starts, we have to kill the NPCs. I think that's pretty obvious. Otherwise, Lamar might end up dying. However, there's an optional part here, which is shooting at this gas tank up here. That's where this NPC appears. I think almost everyone here in this mission ends up shooting at that gas tank. And if you shoot at it, it will explode the whole building, and that building will be destroyed throughout the game's story. It's never repaired. However, you can go through this mission without shooting at that gas tank. You can just kill that NPC and the mission will continue normally. There won't be any problem. 16. Another thing you can also avoid in this mission is that blue car that hits the back and leaves a trail of gasoline. If when the driver gets in the car, you shoot the driver, that blue car won't move. And then you can also continue the mission normally just by killing the other NPCs that appear around. Another cool thing you can do in this mission that I don't know if you guys had noticed, but it's like this. Several NPCs come out of several doors here. In other words, there are several interiors spread around this alley, let's say, and these interiors are available during this mission. So you can enter and look at the interiors. However, after this mission, these interiors are closed, which is kind of annoying. I think they could leave them open since, I don't know, it's already loaded, it's already there, it's already done. Anyway, I don't see a real reason for them to be closed after this mission, so you can access these places and see where the NPCs came from. Talking about the blue car again, that one that leaves the gasoline trail. If you don't kill the driver, he will come and crash the vehicle, leaving the gasoline trail. You can also kill the NPCs without blowing up the car, without shooting the gasoline trail and so on. And a really crazy thing is, if you try to block the exit of that blue car, let's say you didn't kill the driver, you put some cars there to block it and so on. The exit of that blue car, these cars will simply be thrown away. Obviously, you can only do this with mods, but it's a pre-programming there that happens if the driver inside the blue vehicle is alive. And then a little while after that, like after that part with the blue car, you walk a little further and you'll see the NPC who would be with the green motorcycle. This NPC appears at the gate up front. And if you're quick, as soon as he appears, you can kill him and the mission will go smoothly. In case you don't, I don't know, have that level of skill for it. You can go out here to the right, knowing well at this part here where it was near the blue car. You go out here to the right, run forward there, and you'll see the NPC passing by on the motorcycle in front of you. It's much easier to kill him. If you can't manage to kill him quickly using either of those two methods, you'll have to chase him through the city, and then you'll either have to shoot him while he's on the motorcycle or knock him off the bike by hitting it with your car, and so on. And I don't think I even need to say, in this case of a motorcycle chase and so on, if the NPC gets too far away from you, the mission will simply fail because you lost track of the guy, alright? But I think that's kind of obvious. And then after you knock the guy off the bike, Lamar will get in and take over the car you were driving up until then, and you have to take the bike to the car wash. The first thing I did here to know all the possibilities was to follow Lamar. In other words, I took the bike and kept following Lamar around the city to see if he would really go to the car wash like he said he would and so on, because he gets there very quickly. Even if you teleport there, he'll already be there waiting for you. Alright, this is the mission's programming. And after following Lamar a lot, you realize that after he gets in the car, he just becomes a random NPC and drives around in circles in the city. In some routes, he even passes by the car wash, but he doesn't actually go to the car wash. Since following Lamar didn't lead to anything, what I decided to do was simply destroy the vehicle before getting on the bike. So I shot at the gas tank, left the car on fire in a way that Lamar had to flee the vehicle. Then, after that, I got on the bike and managed to go to the car wash to see what would happen, how Lamar would get there, or if the mission would fail because I destroyed the vehicle that Lamar should be using and so on. Even if you teleport there, Lamar will also be there, but without any vehicle indicating that he either walked there or teleported somehow, or probably he used a taxi in the game or something like that. But there are no dialogues about it. He simply appears there without the vehicle. So the other thing I did here, since that didn't work out, was try calling Simeon. I don't know, maybe there was a way to let Simeon know that we had taken the bike or something, because this mission has a script for Franklin and Lamar to steal from Simeon. So what would happen if we tried to return the bike somehow? So I tried calling Simeon and it just didn't work, went straight to voicemail. The next option then was to go straight to Simeon's dealership, but using the bike. Arriving at Simeon's dealership, it's a little different from when we started the mission. When you start the mission, there are some cars inside and the office doors are closed. When you come back here with the bike, there are no vehicles inside, but the gate in the back is still open. That's where you started the mission last time. And now the offices are also open, so you can access the offices normally, but Simeon is not here. I wish Simeon was here to see if there would be any dialogue or something. And since Simeon is not here and you can't call him, so there's no way for you to interact with Simeon in any way in this mission and see if, I don't know, something different would happen. And since that didn't work in any way, two things I tried to do before finishing this mission was the following. The first one was trying to almost destroy the bike I shot at the gas tank, left the gas leaking, shot at the gas trail, and tried to start a dialogue with Lamar, and it simply worked the normal cutscene. The other thing I did was to arrive with the bike and park on the other side of the street and walk up to Lamar to see if there was any dialogue or something. And Lamar just says something like, "Where's the bike?" or some stuff like that. But nothing wow, and the mission doesn't fail. It's just that you don't park the bike too far away. If you park the bike too far away, the mission will fail because it will say that you lost the bike. In the last video, I had shown that there was a consequence of the mission Franklin and Lamar, but after the mission, I was also seeing if there was any consequence after the repossession mission, and then I saw some things. For example, if you have already completed this mission, and then when this bike becomes Franklin's personal vehicle, you customize it. When you restart this mission, like through the replay mission mode, it will reappear customized. So it will show up there by the guy, but customized, showing that they are literally the same bike. They are 100% connected. Also, not that it's a consequence, there's something that also happens after this mission that happens for some missions and others not. The first one is the following: there's news in the game's newspaper. That's when you open the internet on your phone and all. Sometimes you see the news about a gang shootout, and there's also news on the radio talking about it. More than that, you'll also have a post on Lamar and Simeon's Life Invader talking about this event where Lamar says there was a big mess at Vespucci Beach and that they need to ask Simeon for a raise. And Simeon comments below, also makes a post below asking what happened to the bike. And like, if it was a simple job, why couldn't they pull it off? This is actually not a consequence of something you did in the mission like I showed in the previous video, but it's something that always happens after you finish the mission, so you can take a look there. There are also a couple of posts on Bleeder that refer to this mission, but it's nothing special. If you enjoyed watching videos of this style, man, just click here to see part 1, which is back in the prologue. And man, in the prologue there's something sensational that shows kind of a secret outfit that Trevor could have used in the beta of the game. I'm not exactly sure if that's it, but it's in the game files and you can make it appear in your GTA 5. By clicking here next to the yellow arrow, you'll see this thing, and man, it's sensational, it's really cool. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until the next video, take care and peace out.